Let's bring that down a little bit. Alright, oh no. Alright, that's better. So, someone, I'm not naming names, you know, I wouldn't be that kind of person, but someone got so focused when setting up the stream about how the pictures, like how the different windows looked, that said person didn't even consider plugging in the microphone. It was in the room already, just didn't get the microphone. I'm not naming names, of course, but that person is also very apologetic. Okay, so, well, shoot. My whole, intro, silly, gag about how I'm dressed just knows, out the window. I promise you, it is very funny, to me at least. Well, either way, I'll get back to, hello, Katie, Fidel. Was it you? It's okay if it's you. Like I said, I'm not pointing fingers or anything. I mean, it could have been the Dust Bunnies for all I know. Yeah, for all you know, too. Hello, Georgia. Hey, your friendly Eclair fangirl here. Hello, another Eclair fan. How's it going? Hello, Cutter Historical. How are we testing Vamp's knowledge? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because if you saw, well, whether or not you saw my video that I just released yesterday, one of the Degrassi merch I purchased was a Degrassi trivia book, specifically for TNG. So we're going to be checking this, my knowledge via this book. What is... Oh, sorry. I got distracted. My desk has been kind of a mess, and I own for this stream, and I noticed a letter sitting here. I didn't know what that was, but now I know. Okay, tangent over. But yeah, we are gonna use this book to test our knowledge today. Of course, I'm gonna be the one going through it, but if you want to test your knowledge at home, let's see how you fare against me, the supposed monarch of Degrassi. Said no one. Yes, this book exists. I don't know if it's it's by this brand or Trivia Party Games or something. I saw it on Etsy and I kind of assumed it was just gonna be like one of those do you remember the Scenic Games where they made a Scenic game for basically every show and movie franchise? I figured it was kind of like that. But they seem to possibly know their stuff. I only read one question. So it does seem like whoever wrote this might have actually seen the show, but we'll find out as we go along. Gotta get the hellos finished up here first. Hello, excuse me if I don't pronounce your names right. Hodan Yesin. Hello and welcome. Yep, we are really doing this, Katie Fidel, now that I've got sound on. Hello, Joy Williams. But I apologize for the burps. I apologize. Hello, Mercenary X84. Is this legit? I don't know. I'm pretty sure, well, they are at least selling it on eBay, so it might be legit. And they've got a website, www.triviapartygames.com. I'm guessing it's kind of like the book, purchasable, paper book version of the Scenic Games. Yeah, like Scenic Twilight. Hello, Lucius Geronimo as well. Yeah, we had, growing up, Scenic Harry Potter, and I think at the point that it was made, only the first 3 movies had been released, which is good because I hadn't really seen anything after the first 3 movies because we just didn't have them growing up. And I still really don't remember the rest of the Harry Potter series, to be honest, and I kind of don't care anymore. Hello, Cassandra Levasseur. I do apologize if I got your name wrong too. It's Hodan Yasin. Did I say it right this time? I suck at pronunciation in general, especially if I haven't been exposed to hearing it often. And even then, like, saying, like, where to put stresses, I find I have trouble with, especially if I read it first and haven't, like, heard it multiple times. So, again, I apologize. It's French, don't worry about it. Yeah, I tried to take French before. I want to get back to trying to learn French, but one language at a time. Yes, sin. Yes, sign. Is that it? Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. Pronunciation, man. All right. Well, get her sipping and let's break open the book. Start page 1. Yes, scene. Okay. Okay. Yes, scene. Okay. Okay, sorry. Pick instruction. Well, the instructions suggest basing it if you've got teams and multiple people with you, but I don't, so never mind. What did Ashley do to Paige when Paige hinted to Ashley that her father might be gay? A. Spit on her. B. Threw her glass of chocolate milk in her face. C. Punched Paige in the face. Or D. Screamed, "Shut your fat mouth, Paige." She threw her chocolate milk in Paige's face. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm not sure why I remember that moment in particular, but wait a minute. Oh, now I remember. It's because, like, right afterwards, Paige looked honestly hurt that Ashley took it the wrong way, because it was one of the few times that Paige was actually showing empathy and, like, trying to be understanding. Like, you could see the pain you could hear the pain in her voice when she says, "My brother is gay." Like, of course, I, of all people, would be understanding. Hello, Dylan Johnson. Yeah, do they have okay, they do have an answer key. Okay, so the answer is B. Threw a glass of chocolate milk in her face. Yep, so we were all right on that one. All right, next. When Emma got her period her period at school for the first time, who slid a pad under the bathroom stall? A. Miss Kwan, B. Manny, C. Paige, or D. Ashley? It was Paige. Like, that 2 in a row. Like, Paige can be really mean and just a jerk sometimes, but these are the moments where it's like, wow, Paige has some humanity to her. Like, she's not entirely built out of self-interest. And of course, yes, the correct answer is C, Paige. And hello, Mimikyu. And yep, everyone is getting it right in the chat. There we go. Hello, Katie Unicorn. All right, we're off to a good start. Everyone's getting it right. You know, I think we can conquer this book. What, we're on page 1 of, well, it's not numbered, but there's a decent number of pages, although they're made out of the tough, like, kind of papery material, so it does make it seem like there's more pages than there are, but it's still a decent number of pages. All right. Who started the rumor about Liberty and Mr. Armstrong having an inappropriate relationship? A. Paige, B. Jimmy, C. Hazel, or D. Emma? Well, okay, so I think it was Emma. Like, I think Terry was the one where who like got it really spreading, but I think it goes back to Emma as the start of that one. I don't think I remember the early TNG seasons as much as I thought I did. Gambate, you can do it! I hope they get harder. Yeah, me too. Sorry, I thought that we couldn't say our answers in the chat. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. It's fun. I like seeing your guys' interactions too. That's why I like Paige more than Manny. Manny felt pretty egotistical to me sometimes. It's hard because Manny does have her moments of being all about herself too, but she does also have her, I keep saying human moments, but moments of empathy. I kind of rank Manny a little above Paige on that just because Manny kind of has those moments more to my memory. Paige often could not get outside of herself, like especially thinking of how she handled Alex and not wanting to go to college. Like, it was all about Paige. She didn't want to be seen with someone who was throwing their life away. She didn't want her friend to be making choices that she didn't want her making. It's all about Paige. It's no recognition of Alex's wants or decisions. No respect to it. I know season 1 all the way to next class season 4. So that means you haven't seen Degrassi Junior High and High yet. So you better get on that, man. It's actually good stuff, Dylan. I promise. Emma, but Terry spread it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's tricky because Terry did too. But Terry's not one of the options, so I think we have to by de facto go with Emma. Emma said to her BFF in confidence, and Terry spread it out of nowhere. Yeah, because, well, Terry overheard it, and I can understand why she would spread it, because, I mean, if a teacher is preying on a student, that's #not okay, and, you know, you kind of want to talk about it. You don't want to just let it go, for instance. Let's see. Manny's my number 2, Paige is 6 after Holly J. Yeah, Holly J is pretty cool. I like Holly J. I wonder if there's a You're Just Jealous t-shirt. I don't think there is. I at least haven't seen it. So someone's got to make it. That'd be hilarious. Manny was a hella good friend. The only thing she did wrong was sleeping with Craig. I disagree. If you watch my video about that one time Emma called Manny a slut, I would argue strongly that Manny was not being a good friend in that moment. Most of the time she is a good friend, but not in early season 3. No. No. And the one time she called Ellie ugly. Yeah, that wasn't nice either. Yeah, well, not even just college Paige was trashy, but like she's always kind of had that streak, and it only got worse as she was like transitioning into adult Paige mode. Like season 5 Paige, she still was a pretty bad to a lot of the people who meant something in her life. And look at how she treated Manny too when she was like gallivanting the town with Mr. O, leaving Manny to do all of the Power Squad stuff, and then decided, oh, well, now I'm just going to take credit for everything you did and just take over like I hadn't been skipping practice. Like, what the fuck, Paige? That's not cool. Joy Williams, I just watched Junior High and High earlier this year for the first time. Pretty good, I'm impressed. I know, right? See, even I, a long time ago, kind of just wrote it off those shows off a little bit as being after-school specials, but they're not. They are really good, especially for what can sometimes be kind of episodic storytelling. There are through lines. It's great. Alex and Paige were toxic. Yes, they were. No arguments from me. How many times has May said the phrase, "You're just jealous"? I don't know. But that's a good question. That'd be something cool for someone to tally up. That and how many times she said cuckoo bananas, because it was suddenly her thing after season 5, and I find it funny. Character development, long kicked for Paige. Long kicked for... I don't understand. Okay, but either way, the answer to that question... Alright. Who ripped Emma's opinion piece that slammed the idea of the Spirit Squad out of every issue of the Grapevine? A. Emma, Manny, and Liberty. B. Manny, JT, and Toby. C. Terry, Hazel, and Paige. Or D. Manny, Paige, and Hazel. Manny, Paige, and Hazel. I remember that. Because Paige and Hazel were already doing it. Manny came upon it, and I think it was she did it, like, she ripped at least one page, like, because, you know, the cool girls were doing it, and also, like, she did agree that Emma's stance against cheerleading was pretty draconian, and I gotta say, I agree too. 1, the Paige and Dean situation. 2, to Emma. 3, she may have said it to Ashley, but I don't remember. I'm sure she did. She has to. What I meant is that Paige got better. I don't know if she did, though. I mean, not even including Degrassi, Goes Hollywood, or whatever you want to call it, the Degrassi Hollywood movie. Like, even if you exclude that, Paige made some pretty questionable choices, like, where I don't know if she necessarily got better. It's kind of more like she didn't exactly grow or change. She just kind of stayed herself. I might need to rewatch her arc, or her stories, but yeah, she didn't really seem to ever stop being the mean girl, the queen bee. That was just kind of integral to her character throughout. And at the end of the day, it was always Paige first to her. Whatever happened around that was secondary. Paige was still number one. And maybe like, she did grow a little bit in accepting that college isn't the only route to being a successful person, but not really. Mandy, Paige, and Hazel. Yep, everyone's saying the option D. Thank you, brain. Finally, catching up to me. Hello, Madison Montgomery. How many scenes did Alex and Cassie Steele have together? The answer might surprise you. It has to be at least one. I can't remember. Like, I honestly don't really remember them having scenes together, but they had to have been at least one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was none, but I think. She said Emma twice, once in the first season, and then again when she was going through her phase. I'm sure she must have said it again. Like, that sounds about right, but yeah, I think I can remember those points. Also, hello, that guy. Holly J had better redemption than Paige, but Holly J was the worst person in the beginning, so it kind of fits. I would actually argue Paige never had a redemption. Like, Paige just kept being Paige. She was never entirely hateable, but she was also never exactly like some redeemed hero either. I just don't think that Paige had a redemption. She just was Paige throughout, whereas Holly J, like, actually has, like, she is recognizably not the same Holly J as the one who started on the show, whereas I don't feel that way for Paige, really, other than Paige got older. They actually never had a scene together. See, I'm not surprised, because, like I said, I don't remember a scene with them, but I'm actually still kind of surprised, because I thought at least they'd have one, but I wonder if I wonder if there were some background reasons why they couldn't have a scene together. But I don't know. That's a really interesting fun fact. Thanks, Madison. That's interesting. Let's see. Did Peter get better, or did the show just focus on his better qualities and he eventually evened out? Yeah, I think so. He also didn't have a redemption arc, but he didn't exactly stay the same. He just kind of stopped being shit. Like, he just started showing better qualities in himself and stopped showing the bad ones. Like, maybe he did technically grow out of them, but it's kind of more he accidentally grew out of them rather than a choice, other than choosing to be there for his little sister. Like, that's about it. The ice skating scene from the Christmas episode. Yeah, shouldn't, like, Manny... Well, technically Manny and, Shoot, what's Craig's little sister's name? Angela. They technically were in that scene together, even if they weren't shot at the same time. Well, maybe they were. I don't remember that scene very well. I don't remember that episode very well, to be honest. OMG, I don't think Paige and Holly J ever interacted. Wrong. They did interact in a Degrassi minisode. I remember it because of the hun. But in, like, full-on Degrassi, I don't think they ever interacted. You're right. Hello, Mackenzie Animated. I feel like over time, Paige was made slightly worse to a point where we learned to like her. Slightly less worse. Maybe. I just kind of... Maybe. I think it's... I know for me, at least... How do I explain it? Like, I don't feel like she was shown to be less worse. I think it's more that for me, she was shown to be human. And in a way, I can like her because of that. Like, understanding where she's coming from and why, even if I don't understand it. And, you know, of course, there's the stuff that, you know, you feel empathy for her, what happened, like, there's stuff like that, but I don't know if especially towards the end she was shown to be, like, a little bit better. Also, she said to Paige about Dean. That's a yikes. That's gonna get one yike from me. I think Paige getting Terry drunk was worse than anything Holly J did. I don't know about that, but that stands out to me as, like, one of the things that really bothered me about Paige. Like, wow, that was not okay. Like, that's one of the first things I think about when it's like, not Paige. Paige was a bitch sometimes. Like, way beyond bitch. Like, wow. Did you know Manny states she has an older brother in season 1, 3, yet she's an only child. Now, do they actually state later that she's an only child? Because I do wonder if it's a situation where, like, she does have an older brother, but, you know, for majority of the series, he's moved out. Like, that's kind of how I took the line, but I also don't remember if they ever fully confirmed that actually, no, they're rewriting history to make Manny an only child. I feel like Peter and Darcy got me to not despise Peter. See, a little bit at the end, like in season 7, Peter did that for me, but mainly Peter with Mia was helped me really come around on Peter. They ruined Paige's development in the movies. Hello, I apologize for mispronunciation, but I'm gonna try. Katan Oganoiki? I'm sorry. I don't think I said it right. I am so sorry. But yes, I do agree. Any development or any, like, good things you could say about Paige's like character was really assassinated, destroyed, demolished, stamped all over in the Degrassi Go Hollywood movie. Like, ha 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 ha. No, that was, oh god. And I think that's one of the things that makes me really dislike the Degrassi Go Hollywood movie. Like, it doesn't feel like an earned ending for these characters. In fact, it makes them look kind of worse. Like, I don't like Ellie being so stuck on Craig that she's basically unable to live. Like, Marco, he doesn't really get to do anything other than be the shat upon friend. Paige, they killed her character. I mean, the only one who really comes out okay is probably, like, maybe Manny, Emma, and Kelly, mostly because they're not really in the movie much. Like, yikes. I don't like it. Yeah, definitely look up that mini-sode. I need to rewatch it. It's great. Peter's usually a good boyfriend, but a horrible person overall. He wasn't the best boyfriend to Emma, but yeah. Overall, yeah. And Peter supporting Riley, yes. Peter supporting Riley was huge, and probably is another reason why I really like Peter. Like, I'm kind of glad that they made him not bi or gay. Like, because Riley needed that kind of person. Someone who he could really confide to. Who he can be himself around while he's struggling. Like, specifically a guy. Like, I hate that's this way, but a lot of people who struggle with toxic masculinity, like, relying, like, confiding in a girl, it's different from confiding in a guy because, like, it feels like there's, like, still a level of unacceptance. Like, oh, I couldn't tell this to another guy because they'd roast me because what I'm doing is inherently bad. But then when that support's coming from another guy, then it kind of hurts the inside argument of, like, being gay is bad because it's not being a man. Well, if another man says it's okay, then it forces you to kind of question it, at least a little bit. Oh, goodness. It is hard to keep up because I go on essays every time I talk. Paige never got better. We just learned to accept her. And I think that's kind of how Paige has been all along. And that's okay. I feel like an image consultant situation every time someone dated Darcy. True, though. True. Worst thing Holly J did, I believe, sabotage Anya's charity thing. That's one of my favorite episodes, by the way, because Manny and Jay, I don't remember what Manny and Jay does in those episodes. Is that the episode where they are trying to get her into Smithdale? I can't remember, to be honest. I do remember that episode, and I think I'm gonna have to think a lot more on the, like, worst things Holly J did. Yes, her dad states he's proud of his only child. See, now I'm thinking, I wonder if he disinherited or, like, they're not recognizing her older brother now. That's my new fan canon of that. Close enough with the name. Gomenasai. Sorry. I tried. Yeah, I tried to pretend the movies don't exist. Yeah, except for Degrassi Goes Manhattan. I don't like any of the Degrassi movies. Like, even School's Out. Like, that is just so fucking depressing, and it feels like you actively hate the people who love your show and want your characters to be happy. I don't like neither of the mini movies. Guess Vegas is the best one. I never think of it as a movie. I think of it as, like, a special 2-parter thing, but yeah, I guess that's the one I like best if we're gonna call it a movie. Paige acted how she did in season 1 too. Craig was a terrible boyfriend. Yes, he was. He had a lot of growing up to do. Just like Craig with Marco, Jimmy as well. I no longer remember what that was about. Paige saying she's the devil's spawn while being pulled out of cafe. And that video is hilarious to me. Craig was an awful person. The only reason why people like him is because he's hot. Hello, Diane R. And I don't see the lie in this. I mean, it's true. I mean, Craig is an interesting person, and he's also well acted, but it also helped that he was hot. What's your opinion on Bianca versus Katie situation? Oh. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, because part of me does, like, partially I don't remember it, but with what I remember a little bit, Bianca, I think, and that's in, like, that situation, trying to be respectful of Katie, but also being firm, like, hey, Drew, you can't have both ways. You either stay with Katie or you go with me. I think that was pretty big of Bianca and, like, pretty respectful to Katie. Like, she didn't want, like, basically what she did to Allie. She didn't want to be running around with Drew. She wanted Drew to be her, like, official out and out boyfriend. She didn't want to hide, and that involved being kind to Katie in letting her know that it's over. Yeah, it was always gonna suck for Katie, but it's what you gotta do. Excuse me. And honestly, that's way kinder than Drew just having, Bianca on the side, or pretending Katie's his one and only, but actually she's the side chick to the one he really wanted. And then Katie wasted some eggs on Bianca's car when there's starving children in Africa. I love that line. That I can't remember word for word, but Bianca was golden when she confronted her in that. I mean, I understand why Katie felt so bad about it, because she viewed Drew as the rock in her, like, whole trying to recover from drugs and stuff, but dude doesn't like you anymore. You gotta let that go. And okay, you did have sex, but he was also drunk. I mean, you didn't know that, but you now know that if he was sober, he would not have chosen to have sex with you. And you gotta understand that and let him go. That's all I'm saying, bro. Riley helped me accept the fact that I'm bisexual. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That's awesome. Let's just agree that no one comes out of a Degrassi movie unscathed. Joey, Wheels, Paige, etc. Did anyone... Who would you say did not come out unscathed from Degrassi Goes Manhattan? I would say Frankie's the one for that stupid Never Look Back, Don't Look Back movie. But who would it be for Degrassi Goes Manhattan? Here. Let's show that comment, YouTube, because there's nothing wrong. Opinion on Tori and Maya's friendship. To me, it felt very one-sided that Tori carried more than Maya. I never got that sense, really. I kind of feel like there was a little bit of an aspect to where Maya didn't really know how to be friends with Tori. Like, they were kind of two very different people. But I don't think that Maya was ungenuine in friendship to Tori. I think it would have very much been interesting to see what that friendship would become in later seasons. Unfortunately, Alexa Steele? The name escapes me now, but her actress unfortunately left after season 12. I really would have liked to see them, like, see what they would become afterwards, especially considering all the shit that went down in Paris. Yike. I'd say humiliating Mia on national TV is up there too. Yes! Oh yes, thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Holly J humiliating Mia and airing all of her dirty laundry on TV. That's not okay, bro. Yikes. Holly J tried to sabotage Mia, but I still think getting someone drunk and vulnerable is worse. Yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, who knows what could have happened if different things... Yeah, who knows what could have happened. We'll leave it there. If Craig had dated Emma instead of Manny, how long do you think it would last? Oh, I don't know. There is a Degrassi minisode. I just saw it in my recommendations. I haven't watched it yet, but there is a Degrassi minisode of what if Craig chose Emma. That is a really interesting idea to me. I don't know how it would have gone, but that is an interesting what if scenario, because remember, Emma liked Craig way back in season 2. So, what if? Yeah. I don't know how long they would have lasted. Weird question, but what's your favorite intro? Mine is season 12. Not a weird question at all, because that's the kind of shit I care about. Probably the seasons 10 through 12 intros, maybe. Maybe seasons 8 through 12. I do like the kind of rocky versions of the intro. Next class intro is good. The early TNG intro, it's classic. Oh, I can't forget the junior high and high intro. The junior high intro is always a banger, and it's iconic. I still think I have to go with the seasons 10 through 12 intros as a good one. I stand by the opinion that the seasons 6 and 7 intros are absolute shit, and I hate them with a passion. I've seen arguments for them, but I disagree. They are so generic. They're just like any other, teen drama, show of the time. I hate it. There's no character to them. I don't have the words to explain how much I despise the seasons 6 through 7 intros. It doesn't help that era of Degrassi just is not strong in general, and the color palette is so fucking depressing, but still. Man, I could go on about this, but I think I'd just be repeating myself at this point. Hello, Kelsey. In the episode Heat of the Moment, people thought Holly J deserved it, which bothers me. Allie could have stood up to her without going too far. It's a hard situation, because I don't think Allie really was considering, the end product of what she was doing, the consequences. In part, it served as a bit of a it served as a needed wake-up call to Holly J that what she was doing was not earning her friends at all. But also, death threats are never okay, even if the person's an absolute bitch. That's not okay. Okay, so who did not escape Degrassi Goes Manhattan unscathed? I wouldn't say Jane, because Jane already fucked herself in season 9 by cheating with Declan on Spinner in the first place. So, Jane already screwed. Fiona? I honestly think that Fiona, what happened with her, it was something that was building throughout season 9 as well. The groundwork was already laid. Degrassi Goes Manhattan was just the culmination of it. The big climax that needed to happen in order to change Fiona's path. So, de facto, the person who got out scathed from Degrassi Goes Manhattan is Liberty. And Toby too. Why wasn't Toby there? Just look like Toby. I don't know if that was intentional, but look like Toby, that's not fair. I kind of hate that Ellie lost her style in later seasons. Yeah, me too. On the one hand, I can understand people's styles change over time, but I don't know. It just felt emo and goth stuff is not popular anymore. Or it was just a phase, but I don't know. she just kind of became generic, and it didn't help that, like, at the same time, her stories became only about guys. So it was hard to like her, given she lost her style and basically any character. I still can't believe Dylan and Zane aren't gay IRL. They make it look convincing. Hello? God. All these names I don't know how to pronounce. Tite Kubo? Tite Kubo? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But yeah, that is pretty cool. Rest in peace, Dylan's actor. Emma and Craig wouldn't have lasted. Emma was quick to cut off anyone that wasn't Manny. Kinda. I mean, she still kinda did stick around Toby and JT, but they did kinda grow apart too. Emma cut off Manny like twice in the series. Okay, when did that happen? Like, it did happen in season 3, but that was when Manny forced Emma's hand. What was the other time? She tried to cut off Manny in season 4, but she was kind of going... Well, she kind of did cut off Manny and Liberty in season 4 when she was making some questionable decisions and then had trauma to deal with right after that. Manny is my favorite character, Degrassi character. Cool. Next class intros, ironically, had no class. I'll kind of debate you on that. What is your definition of class? Is it like... Because I tend to find people saying something has no class by, like... Oftentimes I see it used as a criticism saying it's not the thing that I'm used to, the thing that I like. Like, I see it as a new trend and therefore it's bad in some way. So I'm kind of curious as to what, like, how you mean that. Like, is it like different from how it was in the past? Yeah, it kind of was. But I don't think it's bad because it's following the times. And importantly, Degrassi has to do that in order to stay relevant to its core audience, teenagers. Like, it's great that people like me, long time, almost 10 years out of high school, can enjoy it, but it's not written for me, who went to high school in the late aughts, early 2010s. It's made for people who are growing up with, like, TikTok and stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, Dylan's actor is dead. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah. Okay, Jean was totally screwed. Yeah, well, I can understand why she did it. It was a bad decision, and I kind of wish she and Spinner would have been endgame, but I understand why she did it. I think season 7 was decent because of Darcy, but yeah, season 6 is probably my least favorite season. I know 14 is lackluster, but Eclair lol. So, yeah, my biggest things that I like about season 7 are Darcy, and then especially the new crop of characters, Mia, Sav, Anya, Holly J, all their stuff. Basically, all the OG, like, TNG characters, I cannot get into in that season, really. And unfortunately, that kind of holds back season 7 for me. Overall, I do think it's okay and better than especially much of season 5 and parts of season 6, but yeah. Season 14, I'll actually kind of defend a little bit. It was a bit lackluster, but I feel like, especially coming after season 13 and then right before next class, season 1, it does do a lot of laying the groundwork for very interesting storytelling, and then also does some really cool, interesting stuff too. I feel like the writers kind of get their footing and get back to more character-focused Degrassi rather than, I guess, spectacle. I mean, there's some element of spectacle too, but it's not like how it was in early season 13 where they just kind of stopped writing the characters consistently. Yikes. I, of course, am not including the Don't Look Back movie. I'm never gonna learn what it's called, and I don't care because I hate that movie so much. I hate it. I'm not including that when I praise season 14 because it's fucking bad. Love Ellie. She's top 25, but yeah, after graduation, girl had no story. Kinda. I mean, even in season 5, she really did not have story. It was just Craig. That was it. And then after that, it was Jesse. Oh, and Craig and Jesse. I hate it. I hate it so much. But at least anxious attachment style makes sense with her mom having addiction issues and her dad war. Yeah, that does make sense. I wish they would have just done anything with it rather than make it just boy drama. Like, tie in her deep-seated stuff. Like, the most interesting thing they did with Ellie after graduation was have her sleep with Marco. Yeah, it was really weird, and like, I would not have supported the characters doing that if I could talk to them, but it was interesting because it actually kind of developed or like explored their codependency. They had been friends since like season 2. They hardly spent time outside of each other even after graduation. That was really cool. If only they did other stuff like that with her. Do you think JT died at the right time? When I rewatch, I felt like JT's character was done long before he was killed off. Honestly, I don't remember much of season 6, but kind of. It felt like there wasn't too much else he was doing. He was, like, getting back involved with the TV show that he had to quit when Liberty was pregnant. The only thing I could think of that, like, his character could have done was go back with Liberty, but I could see not much really happening with that either. I guess it kind of did feel like a semi-satisfying spot for JT to depart the show, but of course, because he was a core cast member, he couldn't just disappear like so many characters often do. It makes sense for her to forgive Owen to keep going after Craig time after time. I'm confused. Who forgave Owen and went after Craig? I'm not sure. What's your favorite era of Degrassi? 1 through 9 or 10 through 14? 10 through 14. Part of it is biased, I'll be honest, because I did grow up with seasons 10 through 12. I watched a lot of that while it was airing. So the characters kind of like have a special place in my heart. I also just kind of like the style of storytelling of seasons 10 through 12 a lot more than in other seasons. Also with Ellie, she ran away because she thought everyone was turning on her. Look, Sav only picked Drew as a drummer because he was a good drummer. Be the big person. Well, kind of yes, but also Sav was still not being very respectful of what she was going through too. What Dylan actor's dead? Yeah, he died some time ago, yeah. You also mentioned wishing Alex Steele stayed. Thought you'd like to know she left because writers and her can come to agreements on writing for Tori. Oh, what kind of agreements? Like, what kind of stuff were they thinking that she didn't like? I'm curious. Okay, I am now too far out of the conversation, so I don't quite. I'm gonna have to unfortunately not respond to some of these or because I no longer remember the context or know what the context was. What was Spinner's worst hairstyle? When he was trying to look like Dylan. Yeah, like the early season 4 hairstyle didn't work for him. I hated it. Honestly, all the seasons run together for me. I couldn't tell you what my least favorite season is. Interesting. Do you have a favorite season? Yeah, I don't like Jesse either. They never made him likable to me. He was just a guy. Boy, I was for the most part just trying to make a pun on the whole next class thing. Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't think you get so much into it. I'm sorry. I thought it went by too quick. That's pretty much it. Oh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I did not mean to read anything into your next class comment. Like, one of the troubles with me is I do take things pretty seriously. I'm not... I am too sincere about a lot of things, especially certain opinions. I am sorry if I like that I took it out of context. I did not get the pun. I apologize. Hello, Jacob Crouch. I'm going to assume that you said it right. I hope I said it right. We love the Kirkland brand hard seltzer. Go ham. I mean, it is cheaper than Truly. I would prefer the, what do you call it? The lemonade Truly, but this is cheaper and your boy's poor, so gotta go with the cheap stuff. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. It's just not my preference, you know. How often did Jay not wear his hat? Because it wasn't that often from what I remember. I don't remember him often not wearing his hat. Like, I think it was rare when he didn't have some sort of head covering. I do, like, it's kind of funny. Like, I do know what he looks like without his hat, but when I think of him, he has a hat forever. Like, he always has a hat. Wait, no, Jay, Manny, and Spinner carried OG season 6 through 9. Maybe, I don't know. Controversial opinion, Jay and Manny, they're nothing special to me, I'm sorry. Spinner, yes. Jay and Manny, take it or leave it. My favorite is TNG. Which part of TNG? Because technically I think TNG runs until season 10 when it loses the TNG moniker. Which I guess makes sense because by TNG, basically all the TNG characters are out of the show for the most part, except for like very minimal side roles. Imagine Ellie and Spinner interaction. Ellie wouldn't have put up with Spinner shit. Like, maybe they could have gotten together later on in life, but not before graduating. Dylan, Eli, and Spinner actually met in season 14. Dylan wasn't in season 14. Well, there's a reason we watched season 14, lol. I will support season 14 and I guess late season 13 as well. Basically, a little bit of time after they get out of France, like there's still some issues with it, but I don't think they're completely pointless or meritless. That's the word I'm trying to look for. English is very hard, especially when you're drinking Kirkland hard seltzers. This isn't a brand sponsorship. Let's see. Seasons 2 and 3, 3, 5, and 7. Interesting. Because I don't like 5 very much at all. We all forgave Jay way too quickly. He did a lot of fucked up shit and would probably be in jail. What do you think? Kinda, yeah, because I mean, Jay kind of was the instigator to, well, he was one of the big instigators for what, like, Rick eventually shooting up the school. And we just kind of, I don't feel like he gets recognized for that. I feel like the show at least spent a lot of time with Spinner's redemption arc. Jay's redemption either came completely in the background or he just kind of, like with Peter, just stopped being the absolute worst. I feel like there's a little bit of Jay growing after that, but we don't get to see it. But even still, I feel like a lot of fans, because of Jay and Manny, they just kind of they give Alex flack for not being punished by the show for her part in causing the school shooting. I do think that idea has merit. Basically, they want Tori to be on and off again with Zick, like Ellie and Craig, and she wanted Tori's character to be more than Boyce's character. Like, however, she was Zoe. She was Zoe and Miles' storyline. I wouldn't say, if I'm understanding correctly, I wouldn't say Zoe and Miles were on again, off again, like the way Ellie and Craig were. Like, they were together early, and then they tried it again very briefly at the end of season 14, but it went nowhere. But if that's where they were going to take Tori, then sad if true. Because, I mean, they kind of already had a character like that. They had Claire and Eli, especially with how those characters were going to develop in season 13. That's kind of overdoing it on one type of storyline. Like, man, depressing if true, disappointing if true. I don't like that. Jay never had development. He just started dating Manny. Kinda like any development he had happened off screen. Yeah, where's the lie? I love Jay. He's one of my favorite bad boys. I loved his charisma, and obviously him and Manny. See, that's how I feel about Eli. When, like, Eli season 10 and early 11, like, what a bad person, but damn, that charisma. Wow. What's your opinion on Casey and Claire as a couple? When I first watched, I was sad they broke up. I mean, kind of. I can understand why. I guess part of me gets why Casey would eventually move on from Claire, but it was kind of sad. I think Casey just was not at a point in his development that Claire would have been able to last long in a relationship with him, honestly. Maybe I'm biased. I do like Jay by himself, but Manny is next level queen, so seeing her happy is the best, lol. Maybe. I might just need to rewatch those seasons. I mean, it's hard because I don't remember those seasons very well because there's a lot of stuff I don't like in them, so maybe that's one of the things that keeps me from appreciating the Jay and Manny relationship. Honestly, that could be it. I don't know. Hello, Yaki Oni. I hope I pronounced it right. I don't know. Pronouncing names badly has been a theme for tonight. I'm much more than off screen. I think I mostly agree. I'm okay with off-screen character development, but when it's off-screen, unless you do it right, there's a lot to infer, and if it's not done very well, then it can get pretty vague and messy and often feel like the writers just wanted the character to fulfill a certain role, and so they just made the character that. It's a very fine line you have to walk, and yeah. I guess I think Owen, oddly enough, is one of the more interesting versions of this discussion, because in season 10 he is a grade A homophobe, and then come late season 11 suddenly has a gay brother, and he's also not acting like the worst. Like, yes, he's still a decent embodiment of aspects of toxic masculinity, but then we don't see him exactly grow. We just see him start, like, in different stages of development. We see him go from Tristan, don't you dare talk to me in school, to him going up to Tristan in the weight room commenting that he never sees Tristan in the weight room. Like, I think that's kind of one of the few situations where off-screen character development was done well, where we have enough information to infer what happened there. But still hard to do well. Manny was basically a side character until season 3. I'm going to disagree. I don't feel that way. Dare probably go back to his old ways and get arrested. I would hope not. I would really hope not. Do you have any Asperger's by chance? Because I do, and sometimes I have trouble understanding when someone makes jokes as well. I've never been diagnosed. I don't think I fit the what do you call it? Symptoms, diagnosis, things for it. I wouldn't rule out that I have some form of something similar. Because I do have a lot of trouble understanding and interpreting communication from other people. I think it also could just be virtues is the first word that comes to mind, but I don't think that's right. I think it's just more like my approach to basically everything, where I can't help but be sincere for the most part, except for in like very particular circumstances where I guess I'm the one that's joking. Otherwise, I can only respond with sincerity unless it's like bashed over my head that's a joke. I don't know. I don't think I fit the criteria for Asperger's, but it's hard to say. I mean, I'm open to discovering stuff about myself. I don't know. It's not just Manny as his GF. Spinner as his best friend could keep Jay in line. Spinner had a hard time trying to keep Jay in line in season 6, I gotta say though. But I do think eventually Spinner kinda ish became a good influence on Jay, but there was definitely butting of heads. Oh, don't get me started on Eli, my favorite character, 4th overall. You want to get started on Eli, man? Like, I could get started on Eli. Did you know Eli and Tori's characters dated briefly? Actors dated briefly. They even have photos of them hugging, laying. However, their age difference bugged me. She was 16, 15, he was 18, 19. Kind of odd. I don't think that's... I don't mind that age difference, to be honest, because, like, that's, like, high schooler dating, like, a senior, like, someone who just graduated, like, a sophomore dating someone who just graduated or is a senior. Like, that age gap isn't too far off to me. I mean, especially as someone who was a freshman and had a senior crush. Never requited, of course. But, yeah, that one, it doesn't, like, set off my ski vibes. Like, Mr. Oleander and Paige, for instance. Like, should there have been more focus on Becky's strained relationship with her parents? Because to me, by the time she leaves, so still strained. I'm okay with it still being strained. Honestly, I don't think the situation with her parents is reconcilable unless something fundamentally changes in her parents. Not only were they very unaccepting of her dating Adam, but they still stood by their son and just would not accept that he did something horrible to another person. And they expected Becky to lie for him. They expected Becky to stand by him too. That's not okay. And unless the parents become fundamentally different people or change fundamentally their stance, I don't think she and them could ever truly be as they were before they moved to Canada. I just don't believe it, especially having lived and been around people like that. I don't think I would have found it believable for them to make up by the time that she left the show. Houston, I too have autism. Yay! I don't know what I was gonna say there. I'm glad shoot. Man, English is very hard for me today. I mean, probably because of the drink, but I'm glad we got a lot of different kind of people here in the chat. There. We'll leave it at that because I can't word master, even though my whole channel is based on wording. I don't believe Johnny's redemption. He had no remorse when Toby confronted him after JT's death was horrible to Allie and had extreme toxic masculinity for Allie's running away. If not for Allie's running away, we wouldn't see him. I don't know if he necessarily was redeemed. I think it's more a kind of a case with like Peter and Jay where he just kind of ended up growing on his own a little bit and stopping the worst. I don't think it was the case that he had no remorse about what happened with JT. I think it was more that he was upset that Toby was specifically blaming him for what his buddy did. Like, all he did was witness it, honestly. Like, he didn't expect it to go to a stabbing. Like, that took it from one level that he was expecting to a whole other that he hadn't considered. With Allie, I hope that he learned from that. I really hope so, because he was not the best person when he was with Allie. Big yikes. As the Illuminati from YouTube says, yikes on trikes. On bikes. On trikes? On trikes. On tricycles. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of the Illuminati, and language has infiltrated my brain. Specifically that turn of phrase. Hello, Justin Jerkoff. 3. Okay. I wonder if Tristan came out to Owen after the whole homophobic attacks on Riley, and that's what helped shape Owen not being a homophobe anymore. That's kind of my assumption too, that through Tristan being gay, Owen had to kind of walk back and like refigure out himself and his stance on gay people. That's my headcanon. I'm surprised that Peter didn't have a drug problem earlier than season 9, considering what he did to Sean in season 6. Yeah, I can see that. I feel like JT's character died after he matured. I'm not saying a mean or goofy character can't mature, but Bianca Spitter and Holly J were still themselves when they grew. JT felt like a different character. I can see that. Yeah. I guess like JT's brand of goofiness was more immaturity than anything. And so that does kind of limit what he can do if he's growing as a person, like maturing. The thing that interesting with Becky, even before Luke, was Becky knew he wasn't the best guy. Yeah. She kind of knew her brother. She didn't know her brother was capable of that, but still. You can't plant drugs in someone's locker and not do drugs yourself. It makes you wonder the kind of people Peter was hanging around with. Just saying. Yeah, it might be too hard on Johnny. He's better than Baz and VJ, kind of. Better than Baz, at least. VJ, I feel like he's mostly okay. He's just hangs around with Baz, so that's kind of trouble, but Baz, I really, really hope he grows out of his whole pickup artist, like, incel bullshit, because that's some real yike. I'm wondering how many car crashes happened in the series that didn't involve someone going to the hospital. Paige crashing Spinner's car into Dylan's. She didn't go to the hospital for that. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. But that's the one that I could think of. Oh yeah. I am dressed like Golden Age Hollywood for no reason at all. I looked in my closet and was like, what am I gonna wear for the stream? I don't want to just sit in my t-shirt and jeans. That feels too boring. What am I gonna wear? How about this? Funnily enough, this is a dress that I bought for a wedding that I went to in April. Chickened out of wearing because it doesn't have sleeves. It feels weird to wear. And so this is the first time I'm actually like legit wearing it. So this is fun. All right, I'll be right back. Bathroom time. kinda shake the feeling. I gotta get ready for school. I don't think I can make it. Don't think I could take it. I wonder what I'm gonna do when I look around and see that someone is smiling right at me. Wait, that someone's talking to me. Hey, I got a new friend. Everybody can succeed. All you need is to believe. Come on, give us a try at Degrassi Junior High. All right, I'm back. I am now in the sing-songy phase. All right. Opinion on Cam Saunders. I know he was only there for a season, but I feel like there was a lot of potential for another season or two before he passed. Yeah, they really could have done a lot more with this character. I liked that they chose to end his character when they did, because there was so much interesting and good stuff that came out of it. But even the writers themselves were very conflicted on how they should handle his character, because they just fell in love with him and his actor. Like, at some point, they thought, like, he was written to always die at the end. But at some point, they start questioning, should they do that? It was hard. Very good character. Very well written. I love him. Didn't always make the best decisions, but very well written. Love him. Love his actor. I feel like Audra's right when she said teen marriage wouldn't work. Did you like Audra? I didn't always like Audra. In season 10, I really did not like Audra. A little bit of season 11, but she grew into a parent I could really get behind, and someone who seemed like she really had some wisdom to her. Like, yeah, she did, like, when she was criticizing their teen marriage, I think she was in the right, because I don't know where I've said it, but I did say at some point that, most high school relationships don't see out the rest of the people's lives. It's the rarity when that happens. And so, I mean, I've seen it both ways myself. I've seen it where I've got family members who were high school sweethearts who are still together way long after being out of high school. But then I've also seen it where a couple friends got married right out of high school and they divorced after about a year of marriage. Most teen marriages just don't last. So, and as we saw with Drew and Bianca, it was for the better that they didn't tie their financial and legal futures into each other. OMG, I love Cam. He's the reason I watched season 12. Maybe that's why it's my fave. Yeah. I mean, honestly, season 12, I struggle to find fault with. It is, like, basically perfect too. Rocking the dress. Thank you. I've been getting into a lot of 1930s and 40s and just general vintage like stuff from that era. So this dress, it's got a cape, by the way. It's great. Like, I feel so magical with it. Of course, I'm wearing pants under this because I don't know. I'm not going to be that dressy. I'm not going to put on my heels and stuff. I don't really even have heels. I'm going to get some Oxfords, but a little poor then. Yeah, it's great. I kind of find it funny how my style has drastically changed from like 2016, 2017 when I put up my first video. Like, I was strongly in my finally exploring my emo gothy phase, and now I've kind of gone, like, still wearing a lot of black, but looking more like a flapper, or you're like your grandma. VJ, I can overlook him outing Zoe online because he didn't get the room he wanted for his club. As an LGBT person, he should be disgusted with himself. I wonder, though. I can't remember. I have to rewatch it. But did VJ know that Zoe wasn't out yet. I think he kind of just assumed that everyone knew by then. I have to rewatch. I have to rewatch before I comment. Yeah. The whole, screw Audra thong was a bit much. I don't think I know what that means. Oh, I had to run to the bathroom. Yeah, so basically an intermission. Think! I did not, I wrote thing, not thong. Okay. Screw Audra thing was a bit much. Okay. Yeah, like, I wouldn't throw out Audra entirely as a character, but man, did she have her Karen yikes moments. Gotta say. Season 3 Next Class was the best because my suppression story, Last Exit, Sewing Russia's love story. Season 3 was really good. I do like Season 4. Well, Season 2, I personally really enjoy. Season 1, I guess it, by process of elimination, is the worst, but I don't think it's bad either, but Season 3 was pretty strong too. Last Exit, damn good song. I've got it in my general rotation when I'm not listening to music from the 20s. Like I told you, I'm getting hard into it, man. Like, you know the song Putting on the Ritz? Everyone knows the taco, like, 1980s version, apparently. Or a lot of people know it from that. Well, I went into that version being like, oh, I know the original. I heard Judy Garland and Harry What's-His-Face sing it, like, way back when. Who's this guy trying to impersonate Judy fucking Garland? I need help, I think. I find myself funny. I guess that's all that counts. Like, I don't know. I want to express my newfound love and obsession with, like, early movies and period stuff. I just don't know how to express it, especially on YouTube, because I don't know, it's just I feel like outside of historical costuming there's just not much space for it, but I love it so much. I've always had a crush on Audra. Oh, that's interesting. Also, hello, Reptile Emperor. Glad we so honored to have an emperor in the house. Cam in my number 11. Only reason he's not top 10 is the others had more stories. I can see that, yeah. He was a very impactful character, but also very, I was going to say short-lived, but awkward pun. I definitely feel like Cam and Dallas should have had more scenes together, like Dallas being a big brother figure. Kind of yes, but I don't think Dallas really could have been that. I think in Dallas's mind, he thought he was being a big brother figure to Cam in the scenes that we saw him in. Obviously, he wasn't. He was being more of a bully and an asshole, but in Dallas's mind, he thought that what Cam needed was some good old-fashioned, toxic, masculine, tough love. That wasn't really love at all. I'm curious, should Becky's parents have kicked her out after a trial? Maybe she could have moved in with Imogen and her mother. Would have made her story more interesting. I don't think more interesting. I think it was honestly more interesting that Becky was still stuck in the house and, like, stuck, being around people who, like, actively resented her for doing the right thing. I kind of found that a little more interesting, to be honest. And that's why I really don't, like, cringe at Becky getting into the online, like, MMO game. That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? Because it means massive multiplayer online. But getting into the MMO game and, like, feeling certain ways for Hunter's character, like, I really relate to that. And a lot of people on the internet, I'm sure, do too, because unfortunately, a lot of people come from shit home lives, and the internet, or at least shit school lives, shit home lives, and the internet in some way acts as a sort of, like, to escape to. I know I felt that way back when in high school, when I used to go on, it used to be called Quizazz, Quotev, like, getting onto places like Furfinity, RuneScape, stuff like that, where I felt like I could escape my reality for a little bit by kind of being someone else, but also just existing in another space. And I think that's what was happening with Becky. And that's why I also have a problem when people criticize us or as like being cringe. It's like, life is cringe, bro. Welcome to the club. Bittersweet Simply, probably my favorite episodes. I don't know if I could list it as my favorite, but it's definitely one of the most impactful ones. I don't really have favorite episodes, but that one, I gotta at the very least say that I need to be careful about watching that one, because something that I've come to understand in my oldening age is that I'm a crybaby, and Bittersweet Symphony turns me into a crybaby, man. Would you classify Manny's dad as a terrible parent? Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, anyone who could throw out their kid for something like having body issues and wanting to be an actress, like, there are way worse things your kid could do that would warrant being thrown out. Like, I wouldn't blame Becky's parents for throwing out Luke. Honestly, I would probably. But, yeah, I wouldn't exactly call Manny's dad of the year either. Favorite band in the series? That's kind of hard. I think kinda Maya's band in Next Class, because those are the songs I actively listen to in my, like, when I'm listening to my general playlist. I don't know why, I just like them better. I mean, House Arrest, is a classic, but I don't know, it also embodies the things I tend to dislike about the 2000s rock scene, I guess. Or, like, the 2000s, like, alt rock scene, I guess. Yeah, so, Maya's group with Jonah and Grace, I guess, was my favorite. Cam deserved better. I don't know. I feel like the show did Cam a lot of justice. Well, at least Katie Fidel finds me funny. At least I'm entertaining one person. Becky did what she had to do to stand up for what's right. Yep. And I'm glad Becky did. That's one of the reasons why I can't hate her at all as a person. Like, she tries to do the right thing. Even when she's misguided, she tries to do the right thing, the thing that she thinks is right in her mind. And when she sees injustice going on, she tries to stand up against it. She's not always had the best idea of what's right and wrong, but she's strong to her morals. Hello, Moody Misera. Hello. Welcome to the show. Mercenary, he's mean as fuck. I understand his concern, but he went way about it. Don't call your daughter a slut, please. That was just mean. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Don't call your daughter a slut. Who do you think had the better religious girl gimmick, Darcy or Becky? I'm not really sure what you mean by religious girl gimmick. I think I need you to define that, because I'm not sure I understand. They could have done more with Shantae. She was there for so long and hardly any impact on the story. Where she got was one bad date and being shoved by the out of the way by a director Peter. Yeah, she got like a little bit with getting with Danny and stuff, but Shantae was fucking robbed. Like, she barely did anything. And I liked it when she got to do stuff like protesting losing the clubs in season 10, or like even the stuff with like Danny, her, and Leia. Like, that was interesting. Why didn't they do anything with Shantae? Like, I guess even having her as a head cheerleader when Allie was trying to join, that was alright, but like, give her stuff to do, man. What the hell? As Cherry's abuse arc made a way to start to write her out, Hello, BC Wrench. I don't think that arc was meant to write Terry. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say, especially because, like, there's a lot of stuff with that whole thing. Like, the showrunners and people, like, in charge just were not kind to Christina Schmidt, who played Terry. Like, they weren't really reassuring to her. I mean, it sucks, and there's some implications to being the first one written out of the show. Like, they did nothing to sort of explain why it was or anything. They just kind of did. So it's hard to, it's hard to say. And as far as I know, it's a pretty shitty situation. Darcy was involved in Spinner's redemption, one of my favorite stories, but Becky and Eli's fueled her finding in love, and Adam was the best. Yeah, it's hard to say. It is hard to say. Like, I enjoyed both of them. Did you feel about Goldie was going too far when it came to trying to shut down the game club? Honestly, no. So, the problem with the whole gaming club thing is that Hunter was not in the right frame of mind to defend the gaming club. Like, there are arguments he could have made to where, like, it really could have justified or, like, you know, morally justified keeping the gaming club open. But he responded in, like, the absolute worst way to where I can't blame Goldie for thinking, well, therefore the club should be shut down, because Hunter was doing a bad job of not making it seem like the gaming club was doing exactly what she was accusing them of, perpetuating toxic sexist stereotypes. Like, I can't blame her. I mean, again, like, Hunter was not using his best arguments, like, to justify the gaming club, but that most of that is because he was not in the right frame of mind to do so. So I can't blame Goldie for not, like, basically just taking him at what he was saying. It wasn't exactly her, like, she could have tried to interpreted, like, what the kind of reasons why Hunter and crew wanted the gaming club, but it's kind, like, I trust that Goldie tried to reason it out and just found that, at least from her perspective, that the gaming club was just being harmful. I don't think she was really out of line. I think it could have ended differently if Hunter was in a different mental and emotional place. Darcy never tapped into a homophobia storyline, unlike Becky. I love the homophobic Kristen seeing the light stories. I kind of do too. Like, it kind of gives me hope that people come around and stop being bigots. There's definitely some Christian bigotry that Darcy definitely did. Like, she definitely had an air of, like, I'm better than everyone else because I'm more pure and stuff. Like, I guess Becky never really had that to her character, but also, like, she was homophobic. Shantae spreading post-its on Archie's car was both hilarious and badass. Yes, I agree. That's why that storyline stands out to me. I love it so much. Was Fiona too harsh on Imogen sabotage her job opportunity? To me, she didn't. I know she didn't want Fiona to go, but that was pretty low. No, I don't think Fiona was too harsh. Like, that's not okay, especially for someone that you're trusting has your best interest at heart. Like, that's not okay to be that selfish. Gimmick was dumb word to use. I meant, like, character stories and surrounding their I assume, like, you're saying, like, religiosity. I don't think one had it better than the other. I think it's more like they're kind of different brands of it. And I'll include Claire in that too. Claire, Darcy, and Becky are different sides of a similar coin where there's a lot of like belief baggage that comes with it, and sort of exploring the different avenues of what comes to calling yourself a Christian, or at least especially like a Christian the way that they were. Like they were a little bit more like the evangelical type of Christians a little bit, especially Becky with her anti-gay people and trans people stance. I don't think really one was better than the other. I think we got more direct confrontations of like some of the bad people who call themselves Christians in Darcy and Becky. But I can't really say one's better than the other. It's just different sides of the same topic. Terry's coma led to a person getting paralyzed, another one dying, Spinner losing everything. Also, I feel Rick's story proves that revenge is not good, as it all went too far. Cam's death to me felt different from Claude's and Rick's. As Claude, I think wanted to guilt Caitlin and Rick. Well, Cam was drowning. Like, so I made a video about it, but the Claude and Cam, their stories came at different points in time where different views of suicide were being had. In the 90s, there was a lot of, anger in general, and a lot of the reaction was suicide is selfish, like blaming the person who committed suicide. And it didn't help that Claude was kind of an angry character to begin with, so it was hard not to read intention of hurt in his actions, even though, like, at the end of the day, he was also like Cam, where he was hurting, and that was the thing he ultimately wanted to end. Whereas, when the Cam storyline came out, now our reaction and understanding to suicide was, wow, that person really must have been in a lot of pain. I wish I could have done something to prevent it. It's just two different attitudes to suicide. Just like doing what Degrassi does best, really reflect conversation of the time. Goldie, her always calling out people, making assumptions because she's Muslim. Her helping Rosh general precons. Sorry, I don't understand, but yes, I do agree. I adore Goldie. I loved her storyline about not just her come to like accept Zoe and Rasha, not like as the love the sinner, hate the sin, but like sort of accept that God's the one who's supposed to be judging people, not her. I also really enjoyed, like you said, her story of basically coming to understand her own relationship with her religion. I love that she came to an understanding that the veil, like the hijab, was right for her. Like, yes, other Muslims, it's okay and fine that they don't wear the hijab, but for her, that brings her closer to God, and that's okay. I really like that they did that story. Like, damn, that was so cool. Man. And I think Degrassi did a really good job of depicting and explaining why Goldie felt so suffocated and wrong when she wasn't wearing it, when she tried to like walk out of the bathroom without it. Like, that was so cool and so humanizing and relatable to a situation that honestly people who like look like me assume hijabs and burqas are like the pinnacle womanly oppression. And yes, in some contexts it is, but like people like Goldie, to people like them, it's a symbol of their relationship with God, and that should be supported. That should be considered okay and respected. Like, I am so glad Degrassi did that kind of storyline. That's so cool. I might go as far as to say that sabotaging her job is abusive behavior. Sorry, I no longer know the context for that. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That is abusive behavior because, yeah. Because again, it's putting yourself over the other person. It's negating their wants and desires for your own. That's pretty abusive, and that's what a lot of abusive behavior stems from, to be honest. Did you hear what's going on with Drake? No, I didn't. What's up with Drake? Oh, yeah, I forgot Claire didn't think of her. Yeah, I feel like Claire's often the one that like is often forgotten because like she was way more, I guess she was way less of the stereotypical Christian, to be honest. Like, she immediately accepted Adam. Like, it was no question to her. It was just like, oh, okay, that's fine. Just want to know what's going on, that's all. I know the reason to love Claire. Just saying. One question. When Esme gave Miles the pills, what did you say? They're also... If a random person gives you drugs, I wouldn't take them in a heartbeat. I can't remember. I can't remember what she said. I don't know. I wouldn't take drugs from a random either, but I understand why Miles did because he was not in a good place, man. He was not in a good place. Stefan Archie Snake is a badass. He's an OG who stuck around throughout. Yeah, and he even got to directing some episodes, which I think was cool. I think that they kind of ran out of stuff for Declan to do, and that's why his character got phased out. A little bit. Declan, he was interesting when he was introduced, but he didn't really have a lot of places to go without fundamentally changing him. And I think it was good that they did end up writing him out, and then also calling Declan out on his bullshit. That was really cool. Darcy, 23, and Becky, 34. Had to drop Becky for dating Drew, but loved her and Imogen's friendship. Yeah, her and Imogen's friendship was really cool. I liked it. Yeah, I agree. He said things like, it's not our fault that guys are better than girls at video games, when he could have said, it's not our fault that girls are not as eager to join your club. Yeah, exactly. It's shit like that. Like, it's not our fault that girls have not joined our club. That's a better way to put it. Like, then you can open up a discussion to like, okay, well, how do you encourage more girls to join your club? How do you make it more inclusive? But then it's not our fault that girls are just bad at video games. That's just outright misogyny there, because it's not that girls are bad at video games. It's like it's more that girls are not welcome in video game circles. Hunter was not doing a good job of not painting himself as a misogynist. Yikes. Yeah, compared to guys, yeah. One way opens you to discussing how can we make this more without like sacrificing our ability to compete and like be kind of like a sports club versus, no, I'm just sexist. That's just how it is. Meh. That's my interpretation of a sexist, I guess. As a Muslim woman, I totally connected with Hazel. Yeah, I wish they would have done more with Hazel too. Like, I really feel bad for Andrea Lewis because I'm sure she could have done so much more with that character if the writers would have let her. Joey got his butt kicked by Wheels and Craig. I can't wait to... I can't see either guy taking Big Archie. I mean, Snake's tall, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like, he's tall. He's a nerd, but he's also tall. Like, he wouldn't do the worst in a fight. Soma Chaya has Degrassi anime channel. What do you mean? Well, I don't know what kind of person she was during the filming of the show because Goldie, like, the characters are not their actors. I mean, in some cases they overlap, like with Owen and Daniel Clark. Like, he's a yikes guy. He's a yikes guy who hasn't really gotten better. But what's up with Soma? I don't really know how she was before, like during the show and then after. I honestly haven't really looked into her since like around next class was airing, I think. I'm not up on the show or trivia, just here for hard seltzer fueled chaos. What it do? I mean, honestly, we haven't come back to the book in a while. We've just been talking to Degrassi, and that's okay. Me, hard seltzer chaos, and Degrassi. That is my brand. With some, like, old Hollywood, vintage 1920s, 30s, thrown in for flavor. I'm gonna accept this message. Come on, show it, YouTube. Another moderator handled this. What? Is there no There's only like one other person I think who's a moderator. Are you here? If so, welcome. Okay, Claire was new Emma. See, I fundamentally disagree that there's a main character to Degrassi. Like, I don't agree with the the Emma series, the Claire series, and then the Maya series. Like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, they're girls who got a lot of story time, but I feel like part of that's also, I don't know, like, people being more critical of the female characters. Like, Spinner did a fuck ton in those. Just saying. Why is it the Emma generation, not the Spinner generation? I mean, I guess in that you can kind of say, oh, it's because, like, Spinner, wasn't the child of Spike who carried over into the next one, but then what about Claire and Maya? Like, what couldn't have been, like, the Zig series or something? I don't know. He might become the next R. Kelly. Are you serious? I hope not, but I won't be surprised. Never meet your heroes. Oftentimes the people who obtain any sort of level of fame suck. Like, that's usually the trend. More often than not, they suck in some way. Worse, like in worse ways, or just kind of yikes ways, but most people are not like Tom Hanks, and dear God, if anything ever happens, like, to reveal that Tom Hanks is somehow like a serial killer or evil person, like, there's no hope for humanity. Much sad. Well, if true, then Drake goes down the Daniel Clark categorization of, like, yikesy people who happen to also be on Degrassi. Oh, I don't hate Drew. I love him. It's just dating his dead bros GF, not cool. I think Drew's more dumb than Melissa. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like, Drew and Zig fall into the category I lovingly call meatheads. They're not malicious actively. They're not the brightest, and so they cause a lot of problems. Love him, but Drew, he really could do to use his brain more often. I wonder if females got more of the main character story over males. I also think the main problem with Degrassi, his show is overcrowded. My main problem is with serial. I highly disagree. One, a lot of male characters also got a lot of focus. Spinner and Craig are the two obvious ones I can name from, like, the TNG situation. Drew, and then later on Zig, namely, like, they got Zig and Miles, like, they got a ton of storylines. I think it boils, like, in my opinion, it boils down more to people being way more critical of the female characters for some reason. I also have to disagree, though, that the show's overcrowded and there's an issue with serialization. Like, so serialization, um, that's a form of storytelling where there's a through line between, like, through the episodes, and it's not like one episode has one plot and it's completely wrapped up in it. I don't think that's a thing that has an issue with focus. I also actually happen to like serialized storytelling and episodic. I just tend to like more serialized storytelling more. Overcrowded, I don't think it was overcrowded necessarily. I think there was a lot of characters who the showrunners did not give time or development for, which is a problem. I know in certain cases, like in Degrassi Next Class, where they were only given 10 episodes when they were used to be giving like 20 to 40 episodes per season, that drastically reduced how much they could do with each of the characters. But honestly, I do like having a rich cast of people who all have different standpoints and opinions and stuff going on. I just like how Degrassi does it more, I guess, all to say. Hazel is a queen. I don't always agree with Hazel. I don't always like Hazel, but I wish we would have gotten to see more Hazel. Archie could hold Wheels and they try to swing him. Maybe. Hard to say. Like, I kind of think of Snake as a soft boy too. Alright, let's have another intermission. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I don't know, maybe we'll do more trivia. Or maybe we'll just not. I'm down for whatever, man. Oh, boy. Whatever it takes, I know I can make it through. If I hold out, I know I can make it through. I figured I should probably pick this back up because, I don't know, maybe we'll do some trivia at some point. So it'd be better if it's not just across the room. I also realized that when I was talking about theme songs, I didn't mention seasons 13 and 14. I also don't like them. I like them better than the seasons 6 through 7 themes, but not by a whole lot more. Like, I don't like how short it was. Oh, I mostly watched Degrassi Junior High and High for the ones who carried over to next gen, and I include Wheels and Shane, even though it's different actor and father figure. No, he had a really strange relationship with Millie Bobby Brown. Really? 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 Come on, Drake, man. Can you just not? Please. Feel the actor portrayed Shane in a more regressive format. I guess like he portrayed Shane in more of a regressed format, but I think it's also like he was written in a more regressed way. I don't like Drew. He went after his dead brother's girlfriend. I see arguments for and against. Damn, I'm only now seeing that I walked away to use the bathroom. Like, wow, what is this latency, man? Of the 8 main characters, including Rick, there's way more guys I dislike than girls. Okay, that's interesting. Cool. Because, like, I do notice, like, the fandom in general tend to, like, hold the girls to way more scrutiny, but that's interesting. That's interesting. Alright. Time to break out the book, because we're not even done with page 1, man. The way it's going, it is 9 o'clock by my watch. We might need to do another stream at some point. Yeah, more trivia. More trivia. That's right. Oh, I don't like showing my armpit that way. It's not that I'm trying to be modest, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I want the capey feel instead. Okay. What did Sean give to Toby and JT instead of the ecstasy pill? Was it A, a vitamin pill, B, Tylenol, C, Advil, or D, Materna? I've never even heard of that. I'm pretty sure it was Advil for some reason. I don't know why. It feels more right than Tylenol. I can't remember though. I know it was some sort of like aspirin-ish drug, which like headache medicine basically. I'm pretty sure it was instead of Tylenol. Let's find out. All right, so question 5. It was a vitamin pill? Oh, I got my first one wrong. How'd you guys do? Because apparently it was a vitamin pill. Degrassi Junior High burning down over that show's end credits. Music was weird. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, that whole period with that kind of music and then the show endings, like, that was a little awkward. Like, disjointed, tonally. Alright, next trivia question. When Emma snuck off to meet with Jordan, her online boyfriend, who hacked her email to find out where they were meeting? A, Toby. Toby. I'm just going to stop there. I'm going to think they've got other answers, but it was definitely Toby. No question in my mind. So, the answer was C, Manny, JT. Oh, that book is bullshit. Okay, so answer A was Toby, but then answer C was Manny, JT, and Toby. I mean, yes, on a technicality, but I guess. Okay, 2 wrong. 2 wrong. I should not be this mad about it, but damn it. I better go get the book back. Damn it. This is, you don't understand, book. This is, oh, I ripped it. Sorry. Well, I mean, it belongs to me, but still, yike. I mean, this is my reputation on the line here. If I can't answer these, what am I even making videos for? I heard people when Joey's actor left, but to me, Greg went to Vancouver without Craig really necessary Spike's character room. Yeah, I don't blame Pat Mastriani, Joey's actor, for blaming the show because they really didn't have anything going for him at that point. Like, there was nothing they were going to do with the character. I don't blame it. Blame him. Beautiful singing? Oh, you don't have to lie. The latency must be big on this stream because... Okay, now I'm getting stuff coming in. That was the biggest issue with the gaming club story. I wanted to see Goldie understand that she was overreacting, wanting to shut down the club because the issues were not there, or issues that could have been easily resolved, but Hunter ruined any chance at that by saying misogynist things, therefore justifying Goldie's decision even more. Yeah, I can understand that. I think it kind of had to be this way, though, because Hunter's storyline was bigger than the gaming club. And the gaming club was just an aspect of it, so it kind of had to be this way. Unfortunate, but true. Like the obvious boys, I just like Owen, Luke, Baz, VJ, Tristan, Blue, Damien, Kelly, Derek, Raditch, Rick. Understandable for most. Alright, next question. Which Degrassi student did Toby's mom, a casting agent, give her card to for them to contact her if they're interested in acting? A. Ashley, B. Terry, C. Paige, or D. Manny? I forgot that Toby's mom is supposedly a casting agent. We don't see her much, so I forget. I'm pretty sure it was Terry. Dylan, how could you get the vitamin? Like, that's not fair. I'm supposed to know these things. We're not supposed to be right. I'm supposed to be right. Girls, just Jenna, Marisol, and Winnie O. You don't like Jenna? I mean, I can kind of understand Marisol. Like, I like Marisol. Like, she's not always the best person, but not Jenna. Alright, so that was question 7. The answer is B. Terry. So whoever answered Terry is correct. I'm not salty that I got the last 2 questions wrong. Shut up. Oh, I forgot Johnny and Bruce. Yeah, Johnny you can make a case for. Bruce, he was just bad. Fuck Bruce. Well, don't fuck him, because he seems like a bad boyfriend and a bad lover, too. What drug does Spinner share with Jimmy so that Jimmy could have high